Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Circle of Hanik with Yulala Gomez. And we are going to do a reading today, an interactive oracle with two options. We have both our traditional tarot. This is the radiant version of the Rider White. And option number 2 will be the centennial version of the Rider. So take a moment to connect group number 1 or group number 2. So I'm going to start with group number 1. Let's see what the energy for group number 1 is. What is the message here today? Number 1. Group number 1. The Justice. Four of Cups. 3 of Cups. 9 of Wands. Group number 1. There was an opportunity in your life that was coming by destiny that was meant, or it's meant to create balance. And you were resisting it, and you were blocking the entrance of this energy in your system before. But I sense that now you are releasing the tension, accepting it. It's like something by destiny. It's like, could be like something that was always repeating itself in your life, an opportunity that was always coming in your life. And you were putting barriers. You were saying, I don't want this. And you were not perceiving it as something beneficial for you. And you are letting go of that resistance. You are embracing it. And you are connecting. Once you say yes to the opportunity, you're connecting with your sense of purpose, authenticity. And I think that's what you were resisting before. You thought that that opportunity wasn't something positive for you. You didn't see the value of it. You didn't see the benefit of it. Actually, you probably saw it as something that could affect you. And that's why you were rejecting it. And now you are taking it. You're taking it, and you're discovering that it's connecting you, contrary to what you thought, to your authenticity, that is connecting you to your true sense, and that is connecting you with someone else. But previous to that connection with someone else, you had to do a reconnection with yourself, with your self-value, basically. To understand your own value, to understand that your worth. This is a spiritual connection that is returning to you after being in a period of confusion. You were in a period of confusion and things were very blurry because you didn't see this connection as something worthy. It's related to a person, but your evaluation of that person wasn't correct. Your perception of that person wasn't accurate. Group number 1. Venus star point in Aries. there is a connection that is reestablishing here. It's a connection of the past. It's a soulmate. It's a person with you have a spiritual connection. You're establishing here communication with this person. After a period of time and after clearing the doubt, the negative perception, this feels like the person did certain things, you were perceiving others, you had an interpretation of his actions in a way. And that was affecting, to say somehow it was affecting your confidence. Because you were expecting that part to give you the value. And that part was probably not acting, was acting immature. Was acting intermittent, was acting a bit arrogant, impulsive. And you perceive this person as a minor, even though not on age, but in level of maturity. Part of it had to do with your perception that you had to clear from your psyche, because you were expecting that person to give you a place, to give you an appreciation that only you could give to yourself. And that was the reason why you were rejecting that connection for some time, because in the loneliness or in the silence, you had to know that you had the capacity and the obligation as well to give yourself that appreciation that you were expecting others to give you. It's like here there is a dialogue, like I deserve much better. I deserve somebody to see me for who I am. And undergoing a couple of circumstances in which you were not seen, taught you, put you in a situation of loneliness, taught you that the one that needed to see herself for who she is you. The moment that you start appreciating yourself and saying, oh my God, who am I? Am I this piece of person? That connection is reestablishing, because you clear a massive block, and the block had to do with you expecting that person to be the one that sees you. You expecting that person to be the one that gives you the evaluation. You were expecting that person to make you feel special. And that was the problem. That life had to tell you, no, you have to know who you are and how special you are. So you need to spend a time alone in silence, rejecting this connection, because that person was projecting you, your own insecurity. That person was acting in a way in which he was projecting you, your lack of self-esteem or your lack of self-appreciation. I don't think it's much a self-esteem as a belief system that is the other, the one that needs to tell me that I'm worthy. That is dying, you're letting go that, and you are liberating that pattern of the past. Having a very strong sense of self-appreciation, actually. Group number 1. The path of loneliness, to get to see yourself for who you truly are, seeing yourself from a different dynamic and a different perspective, became the source of connection with someone else, because you started realizing that you were healing, you started healing you were not assuming the responsibility that you had towards yourself and towards your self-esteem and towards your well-being. And you were putting this responsibility in someone else. And by doing that, you created a chaos in your emotional life. You had to take the decision of withdrawing from someone because your speech was, this person doesn't see me for who I am. But it's not that that person didn't see you for who you are. You were not seeing yourself for who you are. Embracing this opportunity to see yourself for who you are, I know it's redundant, but it is what it is. Take you away from that, like that lack, you were not assuming your responsibility. I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of my energy. I have to take care of my self-esteem, my self-perception. And that person was mirroring you, your self-doubt, by his intermittence. Because every time that person was intermittent, going and coming with his or her impulse, it was making you feel inferior. It was making you feel good enough. And your reaction was, he doesn't appreciate me for who I am. He doesn't respect me for who I am. But it's because you were expecting this person to act as the one who give you the honor of letting you know who you are. And that was too much. That is not the job of anybody or the role of anybody except yourself. So the intermittence and the instability of that person came to show you that the one that didn't do the job of self-appreciation was yourself. So here you enter in a process of self-admiration. In that process of self-admiration, you put resistance to see any other person outside because you were afraid of going through the same thing. Now you're understanding that this is mirror, that your external experiences are mirrors, and that is worthy of looking at those opportunities, giving them the chance, just to see where are you standing today. And I think you're gonna succeed. You're gonna pass the test because you learn to love yourself and to give yourself what you wanted to receive outside group number one. And that will manifest in a person in the exterior that will treat you the same way that you treat yourself. There isn't a spiritual connection here that is about to close, not close in an ending. It's like finishing a test period in order to reach victory or completion. For some of you, might be a person that is on the distance, or it might reflect that this person, you're gonna have a connection from a different place energetically, a new opportunity basically, but with a new vision, where you move on from a pain, a heartbreak, where you move on from a wound because you took charge of it. You start taking care of yourself, opening yourself to the relationship. You understand that it's not the responsibility of the other to make you happy. It's not the responsibility of the other to let you know who you are. It's your responsibility to embrace your own light and strengthen your inner self. And the reason why you were manifesting people that were not stable is because you didn't do what you had to do. Now you're opening up to it. You're doing what you have to do at emotional level, and the reward of it is a connection that is different in its quality. Can be a person of the past, can be a soulmate that you don't know yet. But the point is that your work is going to pay off and you're going to see manifested the level of awareness and healing that you've done internally in the next connection that you will have. And that's what I had for group number 1. We are going to move now with group number 2. Group number 2, here I have your deck. We start now with the reading for group number 2. Group number 2. The Magician. What are you manifesting, group number 2? A reconnection or a celebration, a union, a reconnection. Group number 2 is manifesting a reunion. That reunion will take shape of a conversation. Of a person that returns, but the energy is going to be different. I think the energy will find you more in your place. Connected to your guides, connected to your inner voice, to the voice of the universe. You're leaving behind a frequency of sadness and depression. You're liberating from it. And that was because you had that frequency. It was a frequency like a moaning frequency, like a complaining like, you know, like oh, da 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 da, because I went through this, because I suffered a lot, because of always these things happen to me. You know, that kind of dialogue, which can be really dense. You're leaving it behind. That was a massive obstacle for group number 2. It was karmic. And you're liberating it. You are creating balance in your life because you are coming out of the pattern of victimism. You're building your new structure based on self-authority. Says self-sustainability. I need to take care of my structure. I need to take care of myself. I need to take care of my experiences. I need to take care of my current situations. There is an adulthood, emotional adulthood in group number 2. Where you are grounding the energy. There was an energy of immaturity in which you were not assuming your part in the dynamics that you were having in your relationships. It's like, and the dynamic. So you were running away from it and you were blaming the other for not loving you, not appreciating you, or you're always the victim of the other, like the other makes you suffer. And you are working towards those mental patterns that were part of your shadow. You're taking authority over them. You're saying, this is mine. This is part of my kingdom as well. This is who I am as well. I am also this darkness. And by connecting to this darkness, you are also allowing an emotional connection with somebody to actually happen. Because you are strengthening yourself. You're strengthening your self-esteem. You're strengthening your self-value. You're strengthening your self-perception. You are taking charge of you. Nobody is responsible for my sadness. Nobody is responsible for my depression. I am not the victim of anybody. I am the creator of my reality. And that authority is precipitating a connection, a return, a conversation, a reunion with somebody, but it's gonna find you in a different frequency. And the reason why this person is returning is because it's like a test for you to see yourself, your level of evolution, for you to see your level of your work. Did you work? Did you cleanse enough? Group number 2. Did you cleanse what you had to cleanse of all those patterns of your childhood that you were resisting and holding to that had to do with your perception of relationships? Let them go. And when you let them go, what is going to happen naturally is that the repetition of the pattern is not going to be there anymore. You're going to be able to move away from it. You're going to be able to manifest a different reality. That will bring abundance in your connections and alignment. Not only abundance, alignment of two adults who take charge of their own emotions rather than blaming others for their emotional state. Emotional fulfillment from a different level of emotional maturity. That comes hand by hand with your abundance. Number 2. Because the moment that you heal your emotional world, you heal as well your physical world with its opportunities, with the abundance, with the, there is a different vision. You enter in a new frequency that will help you to manifest a different reality with much more authenticity, with much more power, with much more security, with much more energetic safety, energy safety, connection with the emotions. But there is a process of alchemy here. The process of alchemy has been that you have taken charge of your feelings, of your sadness, of your blocks that you were projecting outside. And you said, this is my responsibility. I'm responsible for myself. And that has bring this change in you, this profound healing in your connection with someone else or with others. And you're gonna see it in the next reconnection that you have, or connection if it's a new person. For everybody will be something different. There have been like this breakthrough of the structure, because you come from women that suffered a lot. And you were loyal to their program of suffering in their relationships, in their marriages, in their families. You broke it, and they themselves, you broke their loyalty. You said, I can't I can't suffer just because you did. I want to do it different. I want to take charge of myself. And that brought the reward of assistance during dreams, during nighttime. Maybe you even are dreaming with your ancestors' feminine energy that is assisting you in healing you. Reconnecting you with your true feminine essence, even if you are a man. And of course, that will have an impact in the connection outside. Because if you appreciate yourself, the person outside is going to appreciate you as well. Because that person will see your value. Why? Because you have it evidently, but more than that, because you know it. And if you know it, the other person will know it as well. And if you recognize it, that person will recognize it as well, allowing you to have truthful connections. There is light coming here that is allowing the entry of a new opportunity. The readings were similar for group 1 and group number 2. It seems that this is the energy of Venus star point in Aries, a new beginning in the way that we relate to the other. And this is the message that I had for you today, group number 2, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.